Hello, all of my fancy coin friends. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hey, everybody.
Incredible.
So, welcome to the first annual Coin Show Super Hangout. We've got a few things in store tonight, but look, this is a Christmas party, right? We're here. It's a couple of days. Well, tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Well, it's holiday time. I decided that my gift to all of my coin nerd friends would be to introduce you to some of my other coin nerd friends. And hopefully, if you're not familiar with these people and some of the work that they do, you will be after tonight. So maybe what I'd like to start with is by going around the room and let people introduce themselves. So let's start with Paula.
Yay, I'm first.
Yes.
Because she likes to talk.
I do kind of like to talk a little bit. Yeah. I am Paula Bloom. I am on the live coin Q&A panel. You'll see me in a lot of the Facebook groups, usually telling you that your coin is damaged.
Only funny because it's true, right?
Dream killer.
Because it's true.
And we'll make it easy on Amanda. You can follow.
I'm Amanda, and I'm also on the Lifecoin Q&A with Paula. I'm just not as mean as she is.
Well, who is?
It's true. That's right. It's true.
And we might as well round out that cast with our third. And if Adam shows up, we're more than happy to. But Shannon, go ahead.
Well, I'm Shannon Smith, and I am also on the Livecoin Q&A panel. So come see us, come join us, and have a lot of fun.
So live coin Q&A is on which platform?
Monday.
Time?
Mondays at 7:30 Central.
Yeah.
On what platform?
On YouTube.
Okay.
We also have a Facebook group, Coin Q&A.
Okay, so is it broadcast as well on the Facebook channel at the same time, or is it just on?
We tried doing that a couple times. There was like 2 people that watched us. So yeah, so we kind of scrapped that. And we don't do Instagram or TikTok, or we are on
What you don't tick the talks? You don't?
we don't ticky the talkie. No,
Okay.
we don't. Yeah.
So yes, they're live coin Q&A, and they do a lot of research around coins. If you have an error, if you have a question, if you have something, you can send it to them, and they will generally answer it on their show. And one of the things that I like about your show, one of the pearls of wisdom that I've picked up over the years, is I love what Paula has to say about, should I have my coin graded?
No, you asked, so the answer is no.
That's right. If you have to ask, should I have my coin graded? The answer is probably no.
Yeah.
All right.
That's exactly.
So let's move on next to let's go with Jack in the dark side.
Yeah, this is Jack Young, and I'm on the dark side. I'm actually a genuine person, although I do look at counterfeit coins probably every day. So I'm on Facebook. I'm also a member of Q&A and a lot of other coin groups on Facebook.
This is the first time Jack, I think, has joined us for one of these, and I think we're going to have some sort of like get together at some point with just the 3 of us and actually really go into depth into some of the stuff that you've been working on. But why don't you tell us a little bit about? I mean, we're here having
us a little bit about what you do. What is it that you write about?
Well, I write about counterfeits of all types. I really got involved in it back in about 2015 when a friend put up a counterfeit coin and asked what was odd about it. And what was odd was it couldn't be attributed. And if you read any of my articles, I always say start with attribution first. If you can't find the variety, then you probably have an issue. And that particular coin was in a TPG holder. I always like to say just TPG and not who it is. But there was a second one just like it, and it was odd enough that it didn't match any known attribution for 1798 large cent. And so we started looking at the differences, and I went through and said, well, it looks kind of like an S158, but not exactly. and found a few more on Facebook, and we ended up finding about 9 of them. And I've got 3 of them myself at this point in my collection. They're all in TPG holders as genuine coins. And so I go through, and with my group, we identify coins that are spurious initially, and then go through and try to attribute them. And then I write articles in all levels of the counterfeits, from the very easy ones that some of us would think were easy because we've seen them before, all the way up to the really hard ones, and show the attribution points, and then just try to make it easier for other people in the hobby to be able to identify these. And they're growing quicker than we can actually identify them. I've identified a new one just this week that I posted on a couple of my Facebook pages, and they continue to mix and match obverse and reverse dies, and pretty much keep us guessing as far as what's going to be next. I've got 60 some articles, I guess, on Coin Week. I've got it on several other platforms, and my wife says it keeps me young. I just continue to look at them every day. And Matt and I had the opportunity to go through some at a show in Indy.
Yeah.
And had the opportunity to show some of your folks some of them. And, you know, the ones that keep me up at night are the ones that are in the TPG holders. They are so good that they're extremely difficult to identify actually as fakes.
Yep. And it's funny because I educate my guys on that. I have them read all your articles. That way they know exactly what we're up against and what to look for, you know, when coins come across the counter. So definitely we're finding use in your work. So I'm glad that, and I know other people are too. So,
and I want to go out of the way to say that, you know, Jack doesn't do it as a way to poke back at the TPGs. Look, everybody makes mistakes. He's truly doing it as a you know, as a service to the hobby.
So
and I think Adam is funny as too.
Just for everybody out there, where would be the best place to find like your information, Jack? Like stuff that you have written and put out there?
Actually, if you go to Coin Week, and it's funny because I put all the attribution points up there, and many times when I'm looking at a coin online, I go, well, that looks like something I've seen before. I actually go into Coin Week and I search for counterfeits, and I search for Jack Young, and I find my own articles, and
Nice.
I find my attribution points.
does it all start to run together over time, Jack?
You know, they do. I've got just a massive collection of images, and they absolutely do. I mean, I've got to go back in and look, and you know, I've been asked before about writing a book, and Matt and you and I talked about it. And you know, there's always a double-edged sword, and I talk about that all the time. The difference between you know, notifying the hobby and educating the hobby and educating the counterfeiters. And there are instances that I can actually show very good examples of where they've gone in and addressed issues that I identified and tried to make the counterfeits better. And they will continue to do that. But on my side, I think the hobby needs to know it. I think the collectors need to know it. There's no question a lot of the dealers need to know it. And there's so many of these out there. When I identify them, they're still going to be there. And we'll just identify the next one when it comes out. And that's what we've done. And, you know, if you stay on top of it, that's what you'll do. You'll look for the next one, and they're not numismatists. And, you know, and I hate to say that so anybody hears it, but they really aren't. And as a result, they make a lot of mistakes that a numismatist, a collector, anybody researching is going to be able to identify and find.
Yeah.
And Jack, you have a lot of people in your Facebook group too that are now searching through eBay and stuff and coming in and identifying things and posting them. I see that a lot.
They absolutely are. And it's funny.
That's fantastic.
I started my Facebook group in 2016 with 8 people. It's now 820.
Jack's army is growing.
It's huge, and it's an army because it has so many expert folks that, you know, not everyone is an expert on everything. And there's so many people there that are specialized on particular varieties, particular denominations, and they're constantly bringing these coins up, and it's great. And then I've started a second group. To be honest, that group can be a little intimidating, I think, to some people that are more novices or not quite as experienced. And so I started a second group, and I just basically said, if you're not you really don't know that much about it. You want to learn. You want to be in an environment where you can say what you want. I started that group, and it's grown to 96,
Yep.
and we're having fun with that group. I posted a contest. This is my third contest I've had.
Yeah.
I'm getting some very interesting
I
answers.
participated in a couple of those.
So I'm getting some very good answers, but I send prizes, and of course the prizes, aren't something that you want to show just anybody, but they're interesting prizes.
Yeah, and the thing about the main group too is we do kind of gatekeep that group a little bit, because I think one of the worst things that could happen would be for one of these counterfeiters to actually get in that group and sit
Yes.
there and watch those discussions that we have about their products. So we do kind of gatekeep, and Jack is always asking me, hey, you know this guy, you know this person, and so we do that a little bit. But the other group, I think, can be a little more relaxed, a little more laid back, and I think that's kind of what is that kind of what you were after with that, Jack?
It really was. I started with mostly friends and friends of friends, and but I still kind of gatekeep it as well.
We have to, I think.
But I'm looking more for people that are more novices in it, that really want to learn about it. And
Right.
people, I don't want them to be afraid to ask a question, and that's really what that group's all about.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's really interesting stuff. So we have been joined by another from the live coin Q&A, Adam. So what we're doing is we're introducing ourselves, and we are talking about what we do and what content we create.
And then we just kind of went off on a tangent there, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's
All right.
Well, I'm Adam. Actually, I go by Coins and Ghouls, but my name's Adam. I've been collecting for about 17, 18 years, roughly. Got started by metal detecting in my front yard and found a mercury dime, and that's kind of where it all started. And I am a big cherry picker. I cherry pick varieties, mainly varieties. Also am pretty good at grading Lincoln cents, and I can grade a mean MS67. So, which are the ones that you want to get. And what else? I like Franklins. I collect Franklins. I collect Lincolns. I like toned buffaloes. What else? I like tone coins too. So I'm kind of all over. I joined the live coin Q&A. It's probably been 2.5 years roughly, I think. So, yeah, they kind of asked me to come on and join the team, and the rest is history. I have a Whatnot stream. I do Whatnot. I started doing that once a week. I have an auction once a week, and it's been pretty successful. I know a lot of people have caught me cherry picking at shows, and so now it's kind of a thing where they take a photo of me while I'm cherry picking, and it's kind of like Where's Waldo kind of thing.
I posted him in a short one time.
Yeah, you did.
I spent a lot of time at Matt's table. Let's just say
It's okay.
Yeah, I would say that.
It's okay.
Okay, so and Adam, or sorry, Coins and Ghouls can be found. Also, do you publish anyplace else?
I have my own YouTube channel, but I don't do a lot of content. I have very little I also do paranormal stuff, so I'm gonna start possibly putting some paranormal stuff into my YouTube channel also. So
we all have our YouTube channels, but we've kind of abandoned them. I think the only one who's still active is Sean from Blue Ridge Silverhound. So we focus on the Litecoin Q&A now, and Adam's doing his Whatnot.
Yeah. Now, sitting here very quietly and very demurely is Leanna. Don't mispronounce her name. She will.
You got it right. Well done.
Oh, I'm good. I've always been good. It's
me.
It's my partner.
I still screwed up.
So Leanna, tell us about yourself.
I'm Leanna, and I do collect coins. Japanese bar money is my main collection, which is a series of rectangular pieces from 15 to 1800s Japan. So that's not weird at all. I do also work in the industry. I'm the creative director of numismatic marketing. And through that, I do pretty much any kind of marketing, media, content, graphic design, anything related to that for coins. So,
as well as
I don't know what you're going for.
NNP.
Yeah, okay. I also run the NNP
Oh, big deal.
symposium. It's part of numismatic. Anyway. I also run the NNP Symposium, which is a live event twice a year. Over the course of 3 days, we have a series of online Zoom presentations from people all throughout numismatics, including typically Matt and Michael do an episode of the podcast as part of the symposium.
I think I missed
which
the
is
last
entirely
two.
free.
I think I missed the last two for some strange reason.
Yeah, you did.
Oh.
It's okay. Because the two people
Okay.
who hosted with me are here. And guess
And
who
you'll
the
be
other
back.
one is? My work wife, my partner in crime. Guy over here in the yellow shirt with the yeah, we'll just go from there with the beard.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks.
What's up, Sar?
What's up, man? Yeah, so I think most people will probably at least have some passing fancy, some semblance of who I am, since I occasionally drop in on your guys' stream. Russ Bega. I work for Harlan J. Burke with Mike. I run Bullion. I do some US things like that. Personally, I collect Liberty Seated as kind of my drug of choice. That turns into a whole can of worms. But as far as content, I do my own channel. So I have my own channel that I do content when I can, but my life is kind of crazy and busy. So I kind of hardly do anything consistently. But when I do, I like to talk about the bullion market, especially, and kind of from the dealer perspective and what I'm seeing, and maybe what someone that is looking to get into metal or stack metal can kind of, take away, just some insider tips and tricks, things like that. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
No, it's not, but that's okay.
Yeah, well,
You're very complicated, Russell.
He is very complicated, but that's okay. So
You're like a fine brandy.
many layers.
Yes, like
An acquired taste.
Oh,
yes, absolutely.
that too.
Inquired.
Well, that too. But yes. Well, that's awesome. This is fun. I like having this many people, Mike.
I really like this, and I thought this was a great idea. Now that we've kind of introduced everybody, I have a couple of things that we're gonna kind of do tonight as we just talk.
Oh boy.
I thought that if there was something, that was either bugging us or that we wanted to correct in the industry or something like that, that we could bring it up. We could talk about that. But here, one of the things that I think could really be better in this industry is the recognition of content creators for different awards. And it's funny because the NLG, the Numismatic Literary Guild, gives out awards every year.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a podcast even show up on the list.
That's true. That's a good point.
And it's not just podcasts, it's live streams. It's, it's stuff like Jack's column and his group. All these things are worthwhile. And I think sometimes we're fighting an uphill battle against a lot of these guys that are doing clickbait. And Russ and I have done a couple of aggressive things to kind of work against them. But I think sometimes maybe some of the best thing that can be done to lend credibility is industry recognition. And so I would really kind of like your guys' opinions on, if you think awards would be a good idea, what award you personally would like to give, who you would give it to, right?
Oh boy.
And I mean, these can be serious, they can be silly, they can be stupid. With me, there's always those three possibilities.
Well, can I just say something real quick about clickbait?
Yeah.
Yes. Please.
So, we have somebody on our panel that some people consider a clickbaity channel. Now, here's my take on clickbait. I don't have a problem with you putting a catchy title or something like that to get people to watch your content, but put quality content behind it.
Yes, thank
Back
you.
it up with information, correct information.
At least tell the truth.
Yeah, and tell the truth and make it realistic. I mean, this, 1982 small date copper. I've seen enough.
$2 bill?
make it realistic, especially when it comes to like errors and varieties. Now we do a lot of that on the live coin Q&A. We do, we kind of encompass a lot of things in numismatics, but most of the things that we get sent to our email are errors and varieties. We need to make it realistic, and we need to make the value of things that people talk about realistic, because that's exaggerated to an extreme. And we get the brunt of like having to tell people, no, I'm sorry, but that's not realistic what you saw, or that is, so
you don't know how many times there will be some clickbait video that goes out, and that
we
whole
know
next
it.
week, bam, we get tons of emails about that exact
Well,
coin.
let me tell you how this works when you're in a store all day. I will
I know,
say that
I know,
Yeah.
I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say.
I have been into yelling matches with people. I have been called many 4 and 5 and 3-letter words by people. I've been hung up on many a times, all because of something they saw on the internet that I am not confirming on the telephone, because they saw it on some terrible clickbait video, and we bear the brunt of it. So like probably 3 weeks ago it was $2 bills, and then it was what was it, bicentennial quarters, I think, was the next one.
Old drum lines.
And it sucks because it can cost you time, and in my case, unfortunately, it's money. If I have an employee that has to argue with somebody on the phone for 15 minutes, that's a quarter of an hour I just had to pay this person for.
It's not just you that it costs money to, though. It's also the new collectors, the new people coming into the hobby. They think they have something. First of all, they have, there's hype with getting it graded, get it graded. Everything's get it graded, get it graded. So automatically they're sending all these junk coins off to the TPGs, and they're wasting money and they're wasting time, and then they're getting frustrated and they're ditching the hobby. And that hurts all of us.
Yeah.
That's
true. That hurts all of us.
They're wasting their time on things that are not, shouldn't be wasted. You shouldn't be wasting your time on things that waste your time on. Use your time for education and learn about the hobby before you just jump right in trying to.
But that's not the way that people work. I mean,
it's not, and especially nowadays.
Right. It's like the kid. Well,
Mike calls it.
God, I become that old man.
Mike calls it short attention span theater.
I do. I am that guy, Adam. It's like, but no, I do. I call it short attention span theater. That it's like they really want to just get what they get. They selectively listen. They pick and choose. They're sipping from the fountain of knowledge rather than drinking. And in the short bits that they get, they're often confused. Russ, you looked like you had something to say about being a professional dream crusher.
Oh, I mean, just that's what I tell everybody all the time. I don't know how many times in the last month I've had to tell people at the counter, they bring in stuff, postmint damage stuff, and bicentennial quarters, all the usual suspects, and just have to tell people like, look, you're not going to get rich from your pocket change. And it breaks people's hearts to hear that. And then, I tell them like, but, like, here's what you could find. And, you show them a few things that are worth, some money. Here's some W quarters. Here's, maybe some 90%. But it's like, you're never going to make 10 grand from your pocket change. You're just not. And people hate to hear that because, I mean, it kills the fantasy for it. And I
says otherwise, though.
I know. But Dr. Google said you are wrong.
Well, we have had people send some amazing finds into our channel. We have been super fortunate. I don't ask me where they're getting these things. Sometimes they are from pocket change. I'm not finding them. I know that much. but we are so lucky that we get to tell people good news about that. We've had some of our viewers' coins have been published. So we have seen many, excellent finds. But the thing people need to remember is that this is a hobby, and it needs to be fun. And if you want to coin roll hunt and stuff like that, consider it like a Easter egg hunt and stuff. And find the joy out of. The more you learn, the easier it's going to be for you to find stuff. If you don't have the knowledge, you're just wasting your time. How many of us think about when we first started, how many good coins we may have just tossed back into change, because we didn't have the knowledge. And that's kind of what our mission is to educate people and make them good coin roll hunters, make them good collectors, make them good sellers, make them good buyers, whatever they choose to do in the hobby.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So, Mike, what?
Yes.
I have an idea, and do you want to circle back to your idea there? Or do you want to jump onto something else? Because I have an idea.
Well, I mean, we can definitely jump onto something else because I think that people would probably appreciate a chance to think about that.
Okay. Well,
I need an award. I need an award.
Okay.
That's all I have to say about that. Give me an award.
I like the idea.
Okay. So I'm gonna drop since Mike is superbly famous for dropping things on me when I have no idea that they're coming. We're gonna do something right now on the fly that this show has become famous for, and I want everybody here to look around, and grab the coolest thing on your desk or within 5 feet of you that is numismatic or otherwise. If you don't have anything near, grab whatever the coolest thing is on your desk, and we're going to do an impromptu coolest thing segment right now. And I'll start, since I thought of this. I kind of have one up on you guys, so I'm going to let you guys. I'll give you guys a little bit of time to shuffle around and find what you may have to show. But I'm going to start with a national note from the City National Bank of Goshen, Indiana, which, if you don't know where that's at, it's way up in northern Indiana. It's kind of out in the middle of the sticks.
And to Goshen.
Yep. And this is a very, very nice note. Very nice uncirculated example. It's a pretty common note, but you know what? It's super nice grade, and it's a small size national from Indiana, which I love. I love it. I love it. So that is the coolest thing within 5 feet of me on my desk. I'm sorry to drop it on the rest of you, but who wants to go next?
Oh, I'll go
So
next.
not
Give these
fair.
guys a chance. Yeah. See, if Matt set you guys up.
He did.
He came after me, but he set you guys up. So I'll go next.
Sorry, friends.
I have a collection that Matt is aware of. And I have a problem with this collection now, too, because when it comes to Newfoundland 10-cent pieces, I have an album, and it has one empty hole now.
Uh-oh.
That's a problem. So anyway, I collect all of the provincial coinage, and this focused
is something in a flip.
This is this is never gonna work. So this is a
beautiful round circle.
1944 half dime. It's a silver half dime from 1944. Has His Majesty the King, King George VI on it. It is has a mintage of less than 100,000.
Okay.
And is in extremely fine-ish condition because it's been cleaned. And for the reason of the cleaning, I thought the cleaning was so egregious that I decided not to put it in the album.
Oh, shoot. Well, but that's the last hole, though?
No.
But that is a hole in your album?
That is a hole.
Well, shoot.
It was a hole. I found another coin that went in it.
Oh,
but you have to close on my desk and
No, that's why. This is tricky. This is fun. I'm enjoying this.
This is not fair. at
I'm
all.
sorry. That's how we roll.
That
If
sounds
you
like
saw
that
my desk, you
wants
would
to
know
go
why
next.
I say that.
sounds to me like Paul wants to go next. Oh, Jack.
Well, so
Jack,
is Jack going next? Jack can go next.
Jack's muted.
all right.
Oh.
I'm not muted, am I? Can
No,
you hear
you're
me?
good.
No, yes, now you are. No.
I don't know if you can see this or not.
It's a
This-
slab.
This is a
Yes,
1796
genuine.
cent, 1796 large cent in a genuine TPG boulder. Say foods. This was struck. It is a counterfeit. And back in the day when I first got involved in these, my theory was that the perpetrators were actually using call large cents as their planchets. And I wasn't able to prove it. I sent a number of large cents and half-cent counterfeits to a testing lab to just see what they were made of. And the funny thing about this one was when it came back slabbed, I noticed that there's actually a star in front of the lips of Liberty. And then I started looking with a microscope and I found that this was struck over an 1848 large cent, a call large cent. The counterfeiters used as a planchet, and you can actually see part of Liberty on the back of the coin. You can actually see it's doubled over 1 cent. Matt's seen this coin. This is probably my most amazing coin.
It's pretty
It
cool.
is cool.
And it proved my theory. And back at the time when this was all going on, there was a Chinese buyer through eBay that was buying really good large cents and having them sent to a place in Texas. And that's where all this magic was going on. And that buyer also bought some lots of call large cents. And so this was the first time I was able to actually connect those dots and show that that's how they were making these coins. So
Wow.
probably my
Amazing.
It's an
favorite.
amazing coin.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yes.
Glad somebody absolutely crushed Matt with it.
It's fun. It's fun.
It will not be me. I promise you that.
Merry Christmas to you too, you jerk.
I mean, I do like what I found on my desk.
And ambushing people.
Yeah.
What kind of people do that stuff to everybody?
Rotten people. Rotten.
This
People
guy.
Rotten people.
This guy right
It's-
here.
people like
This
me.
beautiful face.
Rotten
smile.
coin people do that.
Rotten coin. Rotten nerds.
All right, who's next?
Some of the games that we have played over the years have been. I still have the package of ants on my desk.
Most people have no idea what you're talking about, but that's okay. I made Mike eat ants one time because he lost a bet. Well, we lost a challenge. I had to
Yeah.
dance on Legos and drink bean juice,
And he
and
did. And he paid for it for days.
yeah, it hurt.
Only because Matt went for it like he should have.
I full send.
He went full gusto into it. All right. So, Paul, you were dying to go next.
Oh, I'm just dying to go. Okay, well, I could show you this because this was on my desk. This is how I wrap everybody's presents. I give them each their own wrapping paper so they can't snoop. But anyway,
That's pretty smart.
then I found this.
Hilarious.
Amanda got this for me at the last coin show she went to, and I love this. And it was just right there because I was looking at it today. So this is a Leanna. I love oddball stuff too. So I'm super into exonumia, love it. And I love encased cents. So she bought me this 1938 encased cent, but it's different. I'll show you the obverse of it.
Okay.
So it's just one of the typical, but it is blank on the reverse.
Ooh, that's weird.
And I guess they said it's a blank sample. So I don't know if it's actually a sample, but I have never seen one that is blank on the reverse. So
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
There you go.
I win. I win.
Pretty cool. I will say that's pretty odd.
Jack's dropping
Jack
super
probably
fakes
beat.
over here.
Who wants to go next?
I suppose I shall, although this has been talked to death, but it's still my favorite coin, and you still have to hear the story.
I love
So my 1861 O seated half is currently on my desk. It is in PCGS 62, and it has a lovely CAC green bean on it. But what's cooler is the envelope that it came in originally, which is an old, you super can't see that. It's an old BMAX Mel envelope. And so it actually shows that this coin was bought in February of 1916 from BMax Mel for $1. So this is a deal that Mike and I bought in the store. It was a 6-figure deal. It was basically all the coins were in these old envelopes from BMax Mel, Chapman, Zerby, all the big players in, the 1900s, to the 1940s. Amazing stuff in it. And I pulled this coin out of this envelope, and I fell in love with it, so I had to buy it. What's cool is it's also a Louisiana half, so it's WB04, which is a little bit better for the Louisiana halves. So just a super, super cool half, and it's just probably one of the coolest coins I think I've ever seen in my life. And I think if I would have dipped it, it probably would have forward and been worth twice the money, but it's a very, very lovely too.
Do you sleep with it under your pillow at night?
I do.
Might.
Right next to your picture.
So
Right
it's
next to that high relief.
Hey, you won't have any.
it's a-
You put my picture there, you won't have any pest problems in your house. I promise. Okay.
so it's a Louisiana product,
Yes, it is a Louisiana
United States,
issue.
not made by the Confederacy.
No, made by the state of Louisiana.
Very cool.
I wish my desk was that cool.
I know, right? Who's next? Who's going next?
Oh, I will
Oh,
if
go
nobody
for
else
it.
wants to.
Absolutely.
I don't have a lot of cool stuff on my desk. My desk is very dirty and messy. But I figured I'd pull this one out,
Okay.
which nobody can really see, but it's a 1909 VDB, and it is the DDO 001 FS 1101.
Oh, okay. That's the
Good
one.
one.
That's the.
Found at my local coin shop. It's in fine, good, extremely fine, maybe condition. I'm not really a very good grader, and I will admit that.
Is that the one with the fat date, where the nines look like they're
Yes,
big and
where
fat?
it actually you can see it really pretty well. Yeah, and yeah, I paid $2 for it.
Heck yeah.
So
It's the best kind of double die, the one that you can
yes,
with your naked eye.
yeah, double die obverse. So pretty cool, I guess.
Heck yeah.
Very cool.
I love it.
All right, ladies, which one of you wants to go first?
I will go.
Okay.
Big surprise, it's Japanese. In a
Wow.
shock to no one. It's a Shonai Ichibu. So Japan
Bless you.
made thank you. Japan made silver rectangular pieces that looked almost the same for about 32 years. They didn't have dates on them. The only way to tell them apart is by which flowers in the border are upside down. But the silver quality decreased over time. So they started off about 99% silver and then got down to about 80% silver by the last one. And so while the last type was being minted with the lowest purity of silver, Shonai, this specific region, did not like that. And they wanted a way to mark the first ones that were 99% silver so they were easy to identify in circulation so that they could accept them, for a higher premium than the new terrible ones. So they put 2 NQ stamps on them. On the front, there's one there that's pretty big, that's easy to see, and is cataloged everywhere. What no English sources state is there's also one on the back in one of these bottom 2 corners that is shaped like a Y, and it's believed that which corner it's on may indicate which portion of Shonai it was stamped in. So
Did they do that by hand?
I believe yes. Yes, everything about these was done by hand. The coins themselves were struck by hand.
Wow.
No modern minting technology at all.
Wow.
That's cool.
So
That is really cool.
Yep.
Amanda.
You want to go, Amanda?
Well, I don't have very much sitting on my desk, but I do have a 1969D Washington quarter that was struck on stock intended for a dime.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
Nice.
Those are cool. Now, did you find that in the wild?
No, it's actually kind of funny. One of our viewers submitted it to our show, and we showed it on our live stream. And after they got it graded, they were having a whatnot auction. And I happened to be watching their auction, and I ended up buying it because nobody bid on it.
Oh, I love that.
I actually have a coin right here that I bought from one of our viewers that we showed on our show, but I didn't buy it. I bought it on off his eBay store.
So you got a bargain as well, Amanda.
Well,
Yeah.
she did.
That leads us to
Am I last?
Well,
you're never last. You're only the latest.
Well, I don't know if it's going to work with the filter. I'll probably have to take the filter off. 1 sec.
oh, I like the Christmas filter though. It looks very warm and
Yeah.
cozy.
Well, it's better than my background now. Here.
Are you in your basement?
Yes.
Yes.
It's his normal background.
That's his
It
background.
I love it.
literally is.
I love it.
Now, I will just say though that if Adam was actually like upstairs in front of his own Christmas,
Yeah.
arrangement that he and his dad, I guess, put up, it's even better than that picture, I think.
Yeah, well, the current picture doesn't look nearly as warm and cozy and inviting, but that's okay. It's all right.
Yeah,
It's the man cave.
Christmas no matter where you are.
Yeah. She sheds and man caves, man.
All right.
Right.
Okay, so here's mine. Let's see if I can see
Cool.
it. So this is a Louisiana Purchase,
Heck yeah.
Expo, Missouri, 1904, elongated cent. It's Palace of Education, and it's done on a Indian cent, and it's actually beautiful condition. It's like probably still like mint state kind of.
I love
condition.
those.
Well, if it was made on
And I
wood,
believe that's one of the ones
Somebody bought
PCGS will encapsulate also.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
yeah, those are nice. The Louisiana Purchase Expo in 1904.
Yeah.
We had a gold piece from it, and it's this really tiny little gold piece. But God, those are cool.
I don't know why he didn't send that to me. I don't. We'll have to talk about that.
Good luck with that.
Hey, I sent Shannon the Popeye one.
I know you did.
Yeah, that wasn't on my desk, or I would have shown it. It's
That
actually in
one's
my
pretty
book.
cool. That one's pretty
So,
cool.
Yeah,
That one's pretty cool.
it's awesome.
Hey, Justin.
So, has
Hey,
anybody come up? Has anybody come up with any ideas for awards?
So is it no? Are we going for awards for people? Are we going for awards for
It could be
things,
for any-
shows?
What? So it's like if you wanted to say, like greatest pod or best podcast of 2023. Clearly, Coin Show podcast. That's what wins it.
Clearly.
Clearly.
I have one for a best traveled.
Okay.
T can't be with us tonight, but T the Silver Stacker, best traveled. Many states, many dealers,
Yeah.
kind of crushing that like usual. So
That's a good
And
one.
his content is really high quality and
Yes.
really good, and we're going to promote him even though he is running a auction up.
He's doing an
against
auction
us.
right now. Sorry, T. We didn't realize that.
Sorry, T.
What
I
if
think
we?
he's doing
What if we give an award for the ugliest coin of the year?
I think the ugliest coin of the year, or maybe we should just call it the most unfortunate looking coin.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
not sure we could do that. Well, maybe, but we have to actually send the mint the award certificate that we're going to get created.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, we could fax it right to Ventress Gibson. I have her email.
No, but it might be a world mint. It won't be. It may not be the U.S. mint. It could be.
Matt, think about what you're talking about. It's going to be the U.S.
No, not necessarily. I mean, we've seen some pretty horrendous stuff coming up in the news segments lately that is not the U.S. mint, but that's just an idea, something to think about. Ugliest coin.
Have you seen the effigy mounds?
It's
Quarter.
pretty ugly, right?
That's pretty ugly.
Oh,
Hey.
it's announced, it's no Wyoming quarter, but
What about
They're animal crackers. It's literally an animal crackers.
it does look like animal crackers in the soup.
If you're lucky, you can find some die chips on the reverse of that one. So it makes it look like those animals have like some kind of abscess growth or
Tumors.
something. Yeah,
it's not a tumor.
It's not a tuba.
Not a tumor.
that's the only thing good about those coins.
Hey, Matt, how about the most counterfeit coin?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, there are some really bad ones.
Or the worst counterfeit of the year that we saw.
Yeah, it's
Like we could
most
find the
obvious
picture of
thing.
that came through all the social media groups of the gnarliest like ugliest.
Exactly.
The 1804 bust dollar where her face looks like she's smelling something stinky. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Exactly.
yeah, that one.
Yeah, like some of the silver eagles that we see all the time.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we can obviously give an award for the best coin design and the we could do one for up and coming rising stars like young numismatists that are making a
And
splash.
that was one of them that I was thinking of, and there's somebody actually that I have in mind for that I really think is somebody that's up and coming, and it's a young man named Jack Smith.
Oh, young Jack, but you can't forget about Slab Daddy either. Slab Daddy's still around, and
I don't forget about Slab Daddy, but Slab Daddy is not
Oh,
in a
yeah.
wild anymore. He's in
He
a
You do
is.
know that I'm going to have to deal with the big head you're giving these two gentlemen, right?
Slab Daddy.
let's
Mhm.
continue
I thought I
to
just
talk.
slapped him back
I
down.
have someone I would
Perfect. See, that's
nominate for that.
who would that be?
Lima Echo Numismatics
Okay, and
on YouTube.
awesome.
Look him up.
See,
He's an amazing young man. He's going for his Eagle Scout. He's an amazing young man.
Okay.
And he does great. He does great. Like he hardly anybody watches him, but he is fantastic. He's been doing it a long time, and yeah, I would nominate.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff that I really want to do is I want to recognize people that are putting out good content that just aren't getting the views.
Right.
You know, and we as a group are far stronger because our audience is really diverse.
What if we went the opposite direction with great content and had an award for the worst coin content on the internet?
Oh, that would be a tough call.
I'll tell you what.
There's a lot.
If you ever wanted to gain like clicks, you have a page that you vote on that and let everybody because people love to bust on stuff.
I just had to put that
I
out
wish
there.
there was a way.
I had to float that
is-
one.
The problem with that one though is, do you really want anybody to know about some of those?
Well, yeah,
those
kind of.
channels?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. If you're trying to actually
yeah.
say, hey, this is like a dumpster fire. You shouldn't watch this. Maybe.
Right.
But I don't know.
How about one for the biggest YouTube ripoffs of other channels? I know one in particular we could do.
Ooh. Wow.
I like that one.
Shots fired.
I like that one.
You know which one it is, Paula.
Biggest pretender
Sure
of 2023.
I love
Rhymes with Coins of Rosie.
I just saw a new one today that was Coin Crew. And then he gave bad information.
Angel and Keith are close friends of mine.
Coin Crew?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Well, good. So, or
Saw
maybe
them today.
What about that fella that finds stuff in his couch? You know what I'm talking about?
Can we not? Anyway, I like him. He's a good kid.
Okay.
Oh, we could do a video of other things that that people find in their couches.
Cheetos.
Yeah, sure.
I have kids. I find all sorts of fun stuff in my couches. Okay, I got 3 little boys.
So here, the problem with a lot of these channels is that a lot of these channels are just passing on bad information that they've got from other channels. You know, it's a vicious.
It's too hard
vicious
to.
cycle, and
it's too hard to actually learn it. I'm just gonna find it somewhere else and then regurgitate it.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's the same thing with Facebook. Jack probably knows what I'm talking about. I've seen it. You guys probably have too. Anybody who's been on Facebook, you get these people who they'll post a coin in every single Facebook group that they can get, looking for the answer that they want to hear.
Right.
When they don't hear it, they start their own Facebook group.
Yeah.
And it's just something that we fight with constantly. There's one that I had posted in our Facebook group. I try to do that every once in a while when it's just so blatantly bad. We will call them out. We just will, because I think it needs to be done. This person was charging people to not only join their Facebook group, but to give them appraisals on coins, and they knew nothing about coins.
Yeah.
What?
It was horrible.
And that could be an award in itself. You could do the worst coin group on Facebook and the best coin group on Facebook.
bad information is just something that we just have to.
Wow.
I feel like we can be more proactive. I really do. And I feel like maybe there's a fear factor that keeps people from calling these people out directly. I'm not sure. But I think that as educators, because we're all kind of educators, I think we all consider ourselves educators. I think that we have a responsibility. We owe it to our viewers, to the hobby. I think that we just have to find a way to combat this somehow. I don't know, because we try as hard as we can to combat it by giving good information, but it just doesn't seem like
You
that's
get
enough.
double bad information for every piece of good information you get. So
And
it's
then,
always
and then the
The bad
terrible.
information is always magnetic. It's always done in some way that's really, really magnetic that pulls people in. So you're fighting an uphill battle the entire way.
Because we're dealing with people's pocketbooks with their money, and that a lot of people come into the hobby because they think they're going to make a quick buck.
Well,
We tell them that they
I'm okay
can't.
with those people losing out because it's just not going to happen.
But a lot of times, when we were talking about clickbait too, we also have to remember that a lot of people who start in the hobby, that's where they start. So we got to find a way to pull them out away from the dark side and
Yeah.
get them interested in something other than, I don't know.
Not that dark side.
Yeah.
I was just going to make a comment that we talk about clickbait, we talk about Facebook. What about the Facebook ads? And I constantly report those, but let's talk about
They've
that.
really
They're terrible.
They've really
terrible.
seemed to slow down, though, for me at least lately. I think they've maybe started kind of pounding some of them out, but
You know what though? We should give an award for sketchiest social media to buy something on.
Here's a problem I've come across. I report these a lot of times. I report constantly on Facebook, and I constantly get, this did not go against our community standards. Constantly. I don't think I've had one thing pulled down ever that I've reported. I continue to do it, but
it's unfortunate, but their money does not go against their community standards, is I think the way.
They don't care. We just had a guy come in the other day into my office that had a bunch of counterfeit Silver Eagles that he bought on an ad from Yahoo Sports app. I mean, it was just like, it's everywhere. And these social media companies don't care because their advertisers are paying the bills and they don't really care what they advertise. I mean,
and it's all of them. It's not just Facebook.
Well, it's everybody.
I mean,
yeah.
get it on all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, one of the things that they did back in the olden days on TV was they had the National Association of Broadcasters, right? And they would have a seal of approval that they gave to things. And maybe there's some kind of trade organization that we can create that, of content creators that would say, hey, this is good content. And I think that might be a way to go. Now, it's like, as with anything, becoming recognized is what, you got to kind of get out there. That's where I thought the awards might be a good idea because they'll draw attention. And then you can come out and you can say, well, hey, look, this is content you should pay attention to. These are, our creators that we all like, and, stuff like that. Interlink our content. It's like have a list of some of the other content creators that you like on your content, and that helps build our networking and actually will improve your Google scores.
Kind of like a vetting process, right?
Yeah.
Or we could just have death matches between our listeners. I mean,
I like that too.
Our watchers can have cage fights and we can stream
Russ
those.
is on my,
like.
Can we just do slap battles? I like
even better. Perfect.
Russ is on my
Chicken fights. Mike can ride on my shoulders. Yeah.
Does anybody get on Marketplace on Facebook?
Oh no, I stay far away from
Marketplace. That is
terrible.
No. Maybe for cars, I've done it for cars, but that's it.
And it's the dregs of humanity there as well.
I'd rather deep fat fry my own face than get on there, actually. So, just saying.
I would sooner slam my fingers repeatedly in a car door.
Yeah, there you go. Well, maybe I mean, and the best way. There we go. We got Paul back. The best
I
way.
know that was weird. It just kicked me out.
I think. I mean, even what we're doing right now, just opening a dialogue between other creators and people that are doing things in the industry, I think is the way to go. I mean, just having that open communication between the people that are out there doing good stuff is what I think is the first step in this, and then from there, we can. There are tons of things that we can do together. The possibilities are limitless when you have the right people, the right motivated people in the right spots to do this kind of stuff. So
yeah, the cross promotion I think is probably where we're going to gain our biggest strength because we all have different audiences. I mean, there's some overlap, but there's not a ton. And so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to let's check in with all the folks that are hanging out with us tonight and see if they have any questions they want to fire off at anybody.
A lot
here.
in there. I've been watching.
I know.
I
have it too.
Hi, everybody.
It stopped updating on my little chat box. So maybe what I'll do here is just get rid of this sucker.
I'd like to suggest a category for.
Please.
I'd like to suggest a category before we move on from that one that is more silly than serious. But I'd love to see one for like an intersection of coins and a different hobby, like bringing them together. At the EAC show this year, there was a coin dealer set up who half his table was coppers, it made sense, and half his table was metal sculptures of horned toads. Including some like pins.
Like a hobby smash up award?
Yeah. He had pins of like a horned toad with a coin in its mouth. So I have a little gold pin of a horned toad with a chain scent in its mouth. Nice. And it's hilarious and I love it.
That's amazing. Well, here I'm going to play I'm going to play the new thing I made tonight real quick while we're switching over to getting rid of the chat box that's not working. So we're doing that right now.
Transition.
There we go. All right. That's a little better. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue. So let me see let me kind of scroll through the chat here. See all the people that are hanging out with us tonight. Slab Daddy was in the house. I see that. I see Jack Riley, Smiling LS, Justin Hughes, Arthur Valentine are the ones I have access to here. I had to
Ida Herring.
Yeah, go ahead, Paul. If you can see more, go ahead. I had to reset it trying to get that thing to work.
Ida Herring said Merry Christmas to Amanda.
Ida Herring is one of my bestest friends in the whole world. I love her so much. Yote fan, Ida Herring. So if you want to talk about somebody on YouTube, Ida Herring is they call her the godmother.
Okay.
YouTube. You don't want to mess with her. She's kind of the glue in the coin community.
I love it.
She does it coming up in March. We have the auction for St. Jude's. Last year we raised $27,000, and our goal this year is $50,000. Nice. So if anybody wants to donate anything to sell for the auction in St. Jude's, please get a hold of me. Anyway, I got to do a little promo on that. But Ida Herring is amazing. You guys should go watch her. She does a morning show every single morning. We do trivia. It's just a hangout to drink your coffee and get everybody in the coin community kind of going. And yeah, so it's amazing.
Let's check that out.
Awesome. It's really early though.
It is early. It's like 4:30 in the morning.
Early.
Yeah, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning Central Time. So
yeah.
Well, that's 7 Eastern. I'm up by
that. 7 Eastern. No problem.
Oh.
Yote fan.
Yeah, I was just.
Sean 2 is here.
Yep, I see Sean's here.
Going curious.
Orgulo Azteca.
You guys are all awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Thanks everybody for coming and hanging out with us tonight. A couple of the creators that we're talking about coming by haven't quite made it, and we'll see if they come by. But one of the people that I was hoping would stop by was Seth, because Seth runs a really, really good program at Witter U. And I think that is a good place for us to tie into. And I think it's something that Seth would be on board with.
Yeah, I think he would. I think that's one we just have to reach out. That he's such a busy guy that it's definitely hard to get him in a
As
room
long as
sometimes.
you can say, this is what I want to do, this is how I'm going to do it, and I can start this. He's like,
Yep.
go for it.
Yep, be my guest.
All right, I have a question here. Matt Porras has a question for Leanna. He says, I hope I spelled that right. It's close enough. How do you remember all those characters on those Japanese coins? How do you remember them?
I mean, it's mainly just exposure. I have stared at so many of these. Like, I have not been working on it super recently, but for a while I was working on learning how to read Japanese talking about coins. I do not speak Japanese, and I could not read a book about cars.
I might beg to differ with that. You have a book that you look stuff up in, and you can't even read it.
It's accurate. I am at the point where I can recognize a lot of the really common characters
Google Lens
related
is your
to
friend.
coins.
Just...
It's not, though.
It's not.
It's
no,
not.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just a lot of time and looking at them a lot. Some flashcards. But I'm at the point where commonly I can pick out familiar words and phrases, so I can tell if a sentence is just telling me the design of a coin. I can read most of the words. I know it's just describing the design again. I can skip over it. But as far as actually translating them, just like throwing a scan of a page into Google Translate does not work for these, because a lot of the characters that are used in talking about them no longer mean the same thing. Like, one of the phrases written on the coins, the silver pieces, that I early in my research like ran by someone who spoke Japanese and they didn't know what to make of it. It means silver mint, but the character for silver translates as silver and everything is peachy. But the character that meant mint at that point translates as seat. And so any translation engine ever gives you is silver seat. And that is the best translation you're going to get. So until you know that context, it's really hard to just throw it in a translation engine. And even once you have that, Google Translate loves to just omit entire sections of a sentence and forget they exist. And I don't know why it does it, but it's very frustrating.
It just does it to frustrate you, of course.
Yeah.
What else?
But yeah, most of the books about them are in Japanese.
Well, isn't AI almost intelligent? Sorry.
I don't know that it
I thought
knows
that was
coin.
approaching intelligence.
Approaching.
Here we go. I got another question. I'm sorry. Did you have?
You talked about AI. I did, just for fun, I asked AI like in English about one of the Japanese coins, and it quoted my own website back to me.
Nice.
So,
Yay!
Well,
That's a win.
accurate.
Dave Nelson asked, how is the industry responding to CACG? He says, I know a lot of folks have tried to cross coins to them and gotten dinged bad, but isn't that sort of the point?
Yes.
Yes.
That is the point. And I will tell you that there is a somewhat mixed reaction throughout the industry, but in my opinion, it's a good thing.
We were talking about this a little bit before we came on the show, and I today just got my first submission back from them, and it both horrified me and made me so very confident in what is going on over there. And I'll explain to you what that means. So when I first started doing this, I came up under a guy who had been doing this for 50 years. He taught me all sorts of the old school ways to do things. Just so happens that guy is the father of the current CAC grading president. And he's a good...
Dravotsky.
Yes, Ron. And so I learned that old school grading. I learned how to grade old school. And then when I first started submitting coins back when I was in high school, they were still sending coins that didn't grade back in body bags. Like, that was normal. And nowadays, I think that the top tier companies, PCGS and NGC, kind of went unchecked for a long time, and their grades started slipping. They gave in to gradeflation. They gave in to a little bit of the understanding that if they don't change something, they're going to run out of coins to grade eventually. So they did. And that now that CAC grading has come along and people have an idea of how they're grading, I feel like that has kind of caused the other companies to go into a little bit of, what's the word I want to say? Like a little bit of protect
Panic?
mode, almost panic. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Because you send a coin into CAC grading and it grades a 63, when the other companies are calling those coins 65s. If they keep grading the same way that they're grading now, the customers are going to figure it out eventually. They're going to come back and say, wait a minute, why are they calling my coin a 63, but you guys are calling my coin a 65? And
why are your 65s not bringing
yeah,
65 money? Why are they bringing 63 money?
why are their
63 bringing 65
63s
money?
why are their 63s bringing the same amount that my 65s are? And what's going on? So people are going to start to ask questions, and I think that's what we're running into, because as soon as CAC grading launched, NGC went bloop, and everything went down 1 point. Every grade that they had been grading the same for years, Morgan dollars, Franklin halves, Washington quarters, everything just went doop and stepped down 1 point. And if you grade a lot of stuff with them, you'll notice this. And I did, because I grade thousands of coins with this
You
company.
graded a lot of stuff.
I did. I've been doing bulk submissions, and I noticed that all my grades started.
Yep.
They started
It just-
bumping them down.
Everything
1
went down
point.
1 point. And
PGC, yeah.
And
I noticed
PCGS went the other way. They said, we don't care. We're just going to give everything half a point extra. And that's what they did. And that's what's been going on lately. And the whole coin grading world is on its head right now, because of what's going on with CAC grading. So that is my interpretation of it. I don't know from your guys' experiences if you've seen other things, but
It's funny you say that, because I actually frequent the St. Louis coin shop that Dave Hamill operates, and you know who that is, I'm assuming. So he's buddies with Ron's dad. So
yeah.
And he sometimes stops in every now and then to the shop.
He slowed way down. I see him maybe once every couple of years nowadays. But, like when I did my first coin convention, I was set up with him at his table. And that was 20-ish years ago now. So, yeah, very, 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 very interesting fella, and taught me a lot over the years. So
I have a question, because I don't send coins to be graded. I'm okay at grading. I can grade enough to get me by. Like, I'm not going to lose a ton of money. But if PCGS is starting to grade everything, if they're going up a point, what is stopping people from, especially these newer people who think everything needs to be graded, modern coins, everything? What's stopping them from just going, well, I'm just going to send everything to PCGS then?
that's what's happening.
Nothing, which is the problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
The market will correct.
They care about the money. That's what PCGS wants, the money. So they're gonna.
Well, we see that with ultra breaks, the new ultra break little packets and crap like that. I hate that crap.
So both of
corrected on the coins, though. It's like the market will eventually stop paying the money for the PCGS coins that they're paying for it, and they'll start paying bigger money for the CAC coins as it becomes apparent.
I've actually.
So will they become like ICG, where everybody, or SEGs, where everybody looks at them and goes, well, those don't look at the grades?
No, it's a weird dynamic we're in right now. So since the two top tier grading companies got bought out by hedge funds in the last 5 years or so, there has been a lot of really weird kind of shifts, and they've been a little slow shifts for the most part in the way these companies are run. But almost every one of these little changes is gearing them towards getting away from customer service and getting into a system that just generates the most cash. And that's what they're supposed to do. I mean, that's what a hedge fund's job is when they buy a company, is to get that company to churn as much money as possible. That's what they're supposed to do.
By Russ.
But yeah, I mean, that's what it is. That's and a lot of it has been happening, or small shifts that are not good for our industry, but they don't care, because whatever makes them the most money is what they're going to do. So
where is Annex play?
Yeah, well, see, that's what I was just getting ready to say,
Yeah,
Paul.
where is Annex in all of this?
Annex is
There's
kind of
nothing-
over.
Annex is still tough on their coin.
Oh, sure,
on their grading.
sure, but they're kind of over. They're the niche grader. They're like the guys that, they're awesome at the varieties. They're awesome at attribution. That's where that's where they shine, and that's where
Their
they
niche.
kind of. That's their area, and I don't think they've changed much. I haven't noticed any changes in them. I haven't submitted to them much lately, but I haven't also heard any of the guys that do submit to them saying, "Oh man, they're really getting tough." So I think they're kind of just on their own little island and doing their own thing, and more power to them. So
In some instances, I think they are actually much tougher than NGC or PCGS.
oh yeah, they can be. I mean, they still. I feel they still have. Well, because they're privately owned again. They're privately owned by somebody that actually cares for the hobby, and not super ultra mega corp that's just trying to make the most money. So.
Yep.
Right.
So there you go. That's my thoughts. I don't know. Like I said, I could be totally off base. I don't know, but that's just what I've noticed from what's been going on in my world.
Well, I can't agree more with the fact that when you take money as the main motive out of it, things change.
Yeah. I sent some coins to Great Collections with Ian Russell, and I had them graded through CAC grading. And they came back, and they have been performing very well versus.
Oh yeah. With the coins we got,
Ron talked about that.
I got 24 coins back, and we've already sold. I got them back the day before yesterday, and I've already sold 8 of them on the internet.
That was one thing Ron talked about was that you're not even seeing them on the bourse floors because they're
not
selling.
making it there.
Yeah, they're not making it there.
They're from what? Okay, so I kind of specifically sent in certain coins just to see how they would, because a good thing that I learned a long time ago was you don't need to know how to grade. You need to know how they're going to grade. If you're going to make money in this industry, you don't need to know what it grades in your mind. You need to know what the grading company is going to call each of the one. So what I did is I kind of structured my submission that way to figure out if they were going to catch this, if they were going to catch that, if they were going to grade this the way I see it, or if they're going to grade it the way that the other companies see it. And I will tell you, they were absolutely super strict on some coins. They caught every little thing. And some of it was too little, in my opinion, but that's okay. They were really, 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 they almost seem like they are particular about what they want in their holders. And that's good. That's a good thing. So,
right.
Yeah, that's where I see those guys at. So let me kind of poke around in the chat here, see if there's any other directions we want
to poke around in the chat, and I will tell you that I just kind of came up with an idea for a tie together for the awards.
Okay.
Call them the Numismatic Treasure Awards. So there are some that we want to dig up and some we want to bury.
Oh, that's a good one, Mike.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Nice. And who's going to be our sponsor? Socks?
This is probably best left unsponsored. Or we'll get the excuses people. They're always good for a sponsorship.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Arthur said they sure are tough graders, and I'm excited to see their master sets when they start taking them on tour. That's also something really cool that I also want to look at is they have master grading sets for a lot of the series that they do, and they're going to start laying them out there at shows and saying, "Okay, this is how we're grading. Here you go." Like no other company does that. None of the other grading companies are going to do that, and so that's something different and new, and I think really encouraging. So sorry, I had to go back on that tangent. My fault.
Ernesto just suggested shovels as the sponsor.
Sponsor shovels.
I like that, shovels. That's perfect.
It is perfect.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, it's the Numismatic Treasure Awards.
I think they want to know too if Liana has a channel. Is it
I was
Liana?
just going to say that. A couple of people have
Okay,
asked.
thank you, Shannon. Let me help you out here.
Liana?
It's Liana. I called her Liana for like 2.5 years.
And has not heard the end of it since.
And for some reason, she never corrected me until one day Mike pronounced it right, and she was sitting right there. and she just let me call her the wrong name for like 2.5 years.
I have to wait
Yeah.
until I know you well enough to correct you. Like I'll do it the first time, and then if you keep getting it wrong, I'm just gonna let it happen until like we become friends, and then I will jokingly yell at you every time you say
And
it
then
wrong.
she'll
from
shake
then on out.
So apparently 2.5 years later, we finally became friends, I guess. I don't know how that works. but
Right.
At least
I
you
didn't
made
think
it.
it was that long, but
At least you made it.
It was a while, yeah. No, but
Well, we've been on here for an hour. Are we friends yet?
I
Was I
well, it's Leanna, not Liana.
Leanna?
Yeah.
I will remember.
There you go. See, I'm telling you.
Jack asked if there was any early copper in my submission. I actually have another submission there currently that has some early copper in it that we're waiting to hear the results of. So, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of
Yeah, there's a little
early
bit.
coppers.
There's a little bit. I sent I think it was 4 orders in back to back to back as I put them together. So I was kind of testing some things, and we just got the first one back. So we're waiting on the others.
So
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead. I was going to change the subject entirely.
One thing with cat grading, I guess they're not doing all the varieties and errors right now, so you got to be careful about what you send in, because I made that mistake when I was sending them with Ian Russell, and they were like, yeah, we're not doing these right now, so I had to resend them to PCGS because they weren't.
Well, Ron talked about that with how they're being really picky about who they're selecting for their currency. I imagine they're probably doing the same with their errors and varieties. They probably are really being picky about who they bring on to do that.
So,
'Cause it can be tough.
yeah, for sure. Indivisible Man on YouTube says the cat green bean on the holder itself invalidates every actual stickered slab on the market prior, and that's actually not necessarily true. It doesn't invalidate them. It actually tells you that they are equal. You are perfectly able to take any stickered coin, send it to CAC, and have it put in their holder, and they trade at the same levels. So it doesn't actually invalidate them. It's just another way to consume the CAC standards, by having their holders. So
Yeah, because they are absolutely equivalent, and
they trade at the same levels.
they didn't change the standard.
Yeah, they
And
didn't
the
change.
sticker has always helped command a premium on, the other slabs too, right? So
Yes, correct. So
How are they
Because-
handling copper, like as far as color designations and stuff? Because they're not, after 10 years or whatever, they don't guarantee the red, brown, and it changes.
Something, that's a
They
good
do
question. We should have asked Ron that one. I know that their guarantee is going to be on par with the other companies, and probably better, knowing because I think the other companies' guarantees kind of suck. If you ask me.
What about crossing it over when you send them a green bean holder, and it was a red, but it's not a red anymore?
Yeah, that's a good question. Copper's always been funny like that.
It is funny.
It's always. I
Mhm.
think it's kind of the bane of the grading company's existence in some way because, Copper does what Copper does naturally, and that's tone over time, whether it's airtight or not. So
You saw how fast NGC bailed out of that whole W designation for white.
Yeah.
No, it's not a good idea to denote color on a slab because it can and likely will change over time.
Yeah. And we love
Sometimes
it.
that color, might make it 10 times what a white coin would make. So,
No, I mean that's
the right person
true.
to the right person. Yeah.
We took in an absolutely original roll of, I think it was 84 S's the other day, 84, maybe 84 O's.
184 S's, that's for sure.
84 O's then.
Yeah.
84 S's. That's,
I'm just saying. But it was a roll of 80s mint Morgans, and they have this really nice blue tone on them.
Wow.
And it's just hints of it here and there, and that's like perfect. That is absolutely what you want. So, not to change the subject, but absolutely to change it. The award thing, what I'd like people to do is, if you have an idea of something you'd like to either see, somebody you'd like to nominate, or an award that you'd like to see us give, send them to me, Mike at coinshowradio.com. And we'll, compile all this stuff and try and get some ideas out of it. So that doesn't, that's not just the people on the panel here. That is everybody in the chat. You have an idea, send it to me, Mike at coinshowradio.com. Love some ideas.
Stupidest coin innovation of 2023. Go.
Stupidest coin innovation of 2023.
I'll start. NGC's 10-point grading scale.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like the U.S. Mint.
No.
Innovation.
I mean, that's
Oh, absolutely the 10-point grading scale, without question.
It is horrendous.
Without question. It is for the young pups who like trading cards.
It's just a money grab thing. It's all it is. It's a way to capture a new market. That's all it is.
But it's funny that all the products that they were highlighting with that 10-point scale are all of these things that are just coming out to be just horrible cash grab junk. But
like vault box,
mystery box junk, and that's what this stuff is going towards. And it's gonna. I feel like that the 10-point scale will be gone in 5 years. Everybody will remember it like they remember that W designation Mike was just talking about on the NGC slabs. They were like, "Oh, remember when they did that stupid thing back then?" I think in 5 years it's going to be the same thing. So.
And then people will collect those holders because they can't get them anymore.
Yep.
Hey.
Yeah, for the ones that hadn't been cracked out by then.
Collectors just collect. Collectors just collect.
And it's like all the special labels, all the special labels that they offer now and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, Arthur said, is that even for them? Had a demographic come out and said, I want those sets? No, they didn't. The marketers came up with it. Nobody came out and said, guys, we really are arguing for a 10-point grading scale. No, the marketers said, you know what, guys? I think I got a way that we can sell more garbage to people, and that's what they did.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the opposite tack on this, and I'm gonna say that's not how it happened. The way that it happened was some vice president said, "You know what? These coin people, we're gonna pull them out of the dark ages. We're gonna introduce them to modern technology. We're gonna introduce them to a 10-point grading scale. We're gonna turn this thing upside down. We're gonna be the number one company in the business, and everybody's gonna have to come begging to us for our stuff.
Hedge fund's gonna hedge fund, friend."
Yeah, that was it.
We're
gonna disrupt the market.
No. They just literally
everything everybody's doing right now is dumbing people down. They are just dumbing people down. That's all. And it's
you don't want a little coin that's shaped like Yoda to be the highest graded coin out there from some place that you've never heard of before?
Not me. I don't, but there's somebody out there that does.
It's not you.
Not me.
You don't want some washed up YouTube.
No, I am not.
You don't want a washed up YouTube star autographing your coins and then having them slabbed and pushed into holders and stuff? No? Yeah, no? Okay. I'm just checking, making sure.
Not me.
Okay. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about while we're here?
I have one.
Go for it.
What do you guys think about AI grading? Because I watched somebody this morning and I'm like, he was, he's a YouTuber and I'm sure you guys know who he is. And he was like, AI is the future of coin grading. And I'm thinking to myself, no, it's not, because eye appeal is one of the important parts of coin grading. How does an AI model grade eye appeal? I don't understand.
Adam, answer this. Does that person have a dog in that fight? Yes.
Well, I don't think that anybody that is never actually been in a grading room or has graded professionally or done it for a living, whether it's in a shop or at a grading company, really can talk about what quantifiers are out there, what the grading companies actually use to quantify the actual numerical grade they give you, because that's a secret a lot of times. They keep that secret. They don't want to tell you what exactly how they're doing their jobs up until here lately, I guess. I think AI is, if anything, it will take the place of the first round grader.
That makes sense. Now that makes sense. And then have a human verify the grade.
Have a human verify the grade, and it can add on maybe add on a point for eye appeal or 2 for eye appeal or a plus grade or anything like that. But I think maybe it will take the place of the first round grader. That's just the the underpaid young guy that's sitting there looking at 875 Morgan silver dollars a day. So,
but then how are we going to get more advanced graders if they don't start out?
Well,
with
no,
the
they're
simple
still
stuff?
going to learn how to grade the same way. They're just, the thing that machines are best at is tedium. Anything that is the screening, it's just the screening that Coin has all the things that it needs in order to be graded. AI is going to go, okay, that's cool, hand it off to a person.
and a lot of the and the chat over here makes a good point. AI is really just doing what it's programmed to do by humans anyways. If it's programmed to learn the correct way that things are done, for the most part it can recognize these things. But again, you still can't take the human input of what humans actually care about.
Not to be on the other end of that, but computers specifically are only as good as the program that they're running.
Right. And the data that they
so
input.
The algorithm that you have to figure out may not work. And that's all I think people are saying, and rightly so. It's like there is a human element to it that is never going to be gone, that you're going to need to lean on, that the computers can help you, and they can help you with the more menial tasks in it. But when it comes down to final grade, I don't think they're ever going to be able to do the complete process.
I'm just waiting for the Terminator to show up at this point. So, like that's where I'm at, Skynet and stuff. I'm just there. That's me.
Birds aren't real.
Oh boy,
you just want to do the Predator.
No. Have you seen me? Come on,
kill me.
I couldn't fight. Kill me. I'm here. Do it. Sorry, I had to. Arnold.
Wait, do that again.
What?
That's pretty good.
No, stop whining. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, they got me doing my impressions. It's time to go, Mike.
That is
time
Jorgen
to
von
go.
Strangle. He really is.
That means it's time to go. Give me the hook. Take me out of here.
Oh, we don't need it, but I think we will let our people go. No, that was a couple of weeks ago. So I really would like people's input. I would like particularly the input of the panel. So if you guys do seriously come up with any award, like I'm serious about the Numismatic Treasure Awards. I really like that. We can have good ones. We can have the best innovation of 2023, the worst innovation of 2023. I thought that we could name a channel as the misinformation station.
Oh man.
Shots fired.
Look, I mean, the whole idea is to praise the people that we think should get positive attention.
Yeah.
And if we have to, break a couple eggs to do that.
Right.
I like it.
Advertising is the big is what's going to get us out there,
Yeah.
Enough, if we advertise enough and promote each other, and I don't know.
And that's the live coin Q&A guys have done probably the best job of cross promoting of anybody out there, because like every time I turn around, it's like I show up at their live shows all the time, and they're always pointing us out. They're always sending people to our show, telling people to subscribe. It's like
Can we talk about Jack? I mean, we've talked about Jack before.
You're not the only ones. I'm just saying that I felt very, very welcomed and very well.
We love you guys. Yeah, we think you guys are super important to the hobby. So
you guys rock, each and every one of you.
Yeah, we actually feel the same way about you guys, because that's why we wanted you guys here.
Yeah, we appreciate it, definitely.
And Leanna, always amazing to see you. Your knowledge on those little rectangular coins is amazing. And Mr. Young, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll have to do this again when we get a little more time to really take a deep dive into some of the stuff that we're up against. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So
maybe we could have Jack on our show too.
We would love to have Jack and Leanna on our show.
Yeah, we would love to have Leanna too.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
That'd be awesome.
Go.
Any
Share it,
friend
share
of
a lot.
mine is a friend of yours. I promise you guys.
Awesome.
So, well, I'm
Awesome,
going to go ahead and
awesome.
shut this down. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Everybody in the chat, you guys rock. Thanks for your questions. We are going to be back next week with our regular show. If you have never seen our regular show before, leave a like real quick. You will find us where we do a little bit different show than anybody else. We talk about the news. We talk about some cool stuff that walks into our stores. We have a little fun. And it's a little more structured than what we're doing tonight. So you guys come and hang out with us when we do our show. Again, thank you guys, everybody, for being here tonight. You guys rock. For the Coin Show Hangout, I'm Matt.
Super mega hangout.
Yeah, super mega gigantor hangout. I'm Matt, and that's Mike, and
I am.
and the panel. You guys are awesome. So
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody.
Thanks for having
everybody
us.
wave,
Bye.
everybody wave, and
We
we're
gotta do
gonna,
this again.
Christmas.
and Merry Christmas, everybody.
Christmas.
Everybody
Merry
wave, and we're gonna
Christmas.
shut this down.
God
All of
bless
us
us,
waving.
everyone.
Goodbye.